All right, gang, welcome to Hansen Speed Shop. This is part like 3 or 4 of my Cat Slingshot mini bike. Um, this project has been going on now for about a year, and I finally got the frame done and back from powder coat, and it turned out super cool. It's still all wrapped up, so later on in the video we'll get it unwrapped and start putting it back together. But I got the seat brackets welded on here and here, and then I decided to go with a color called Illusion Violet. This is a 1965 Schwinn, and it's almost exact same color as that, so I really dig it. We'll take a look at one of the foot pegs out here outside in the light so you can see what it looks like outside. Let's see. That's a really neat color. Super custom looking. So that's where we're at right now. The motor is all done. So got this custom bracket here. I think that was from OMB Warehouse. And then I painted that gloss black. This allows you to run like an old school mini bike throttle, and then they'll connect in the middle, and then you run your cable for your Mikuni carburetor onto this side. That way you can run an old school style throttle, which I wanted to do. I also switched up, I put this curved stainless manifold on here. Redid my fuel line with some, these are for like spark plug wires by your headers for on a car. Just so that we don't get any heat soak into the fuel line, because it is very close to the engine block. And then I also lowered the gas tank brackets down because we had clearance issues with the cap to the frame. So basically the motor is ready to go back into the frame. The fork's over there, it's still wrapped up. The next thing I'm going to do, I'll get this thing unwrapped, we'll take another look at it, and then we can start assembling this thing finally. Alright guys, so we got the motor in the thing, got the wheels on, just kind of slowly starting to put it together. It's coming along really cool. I still got some of the foam on here just so I don't scratch things up while I'm putting it together, but as you can see, the color looks really awesome. Everything's coming along super good. I think I might swap this intake around and flip it around and see if it kind of brings the carb down a little bit. I also think I might move this bracket up a little bit, and then we'll put the clutch on, and then I might have to respace this rear sprocket and bring it out this way a little bit. Got the kickstand on, forks on, everything's going together really good so far. It looks awesome. We'll take another look at it once I make a little bit more progress. Alright guys, so we've been making some really good progress on the mini bike. As you can see, it's coming out sweet. As you'll probably first notice, I got the seat on, and I decided to go with a different seat than I originally was gonna. I was originally gonna go with a kind of a coffin shaped seat with the same tuck and roll upholstery on it, all black. This seat I decided to go with just because it's a little bit more traditional mini bike. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable, and I like that this back part kind of comes up so you don't slip off the back of it. So we got that on. The motor's in the frame. I still have it loose so we can move it around for when we put the chain on. This is an original Cat chain tensioner. I have this on, just that needs to get tightened up also, but we'll do that once we put the chain and everything on. The sprocket's still going to need to get spaced out. It's got to come over slightly, and then we can button up the back. I have my Hillard Inferno clutch on here. Once we get everything running, I have the lightest weights in here right now, which I don't think are going to be enough, but that's what we'll start with, and then we'll work our way up from there. We're going to be running a clutch brake like I talked about, so that's on here. I'm just waiting for my grips that I ordered to come in the mail, and then we can put the grips on, brake lever, and I can hook. All right, sorry about that. I had a little bit of a malfunction with the camera. Anyway, once the grips come in the mail, we can get the brake lever on. I can hook the clutch brake up. I can get the throttle on. We'll hook the throttle up. Otherwise, this is all ready to go. I got my Cat Slingshot sticker on the fork. That looks super cool. I put a little STP sticker on there just to give this thing that cool old school period look. Let's see, what else did I do? Got basically everything's kind of really coming along. What we have left to do, I got to tighten up the axle nuts on the front wheel. Not a big deal. I just got to get some little washers. The fork's done then. Otherwise, we got to do grips, brake levers, hook up the clutch brake, hook up the throttle, and then once we get to that point, respace the rear sprocket. Then we can get the chain on, bolt the motor down, bolt the chain tensioner down, bolt the back wheel up, and then we're pretty good. Just a few little other things here and there. Got to put the foot pegs on yet. One other thing that I did, I think this is going to look pretty cool on the cover for the clutch brake. I put this old vintage Valvoline sticker, so I think that's going to look super cool on there. So that's basically where we're at. Pretty much once I get everything basically buttoned up, we'll take one last look at it, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right, guys, so we're starting to get to where we can see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel on this project. Just an unimaginable amount of work has went into this thing over the last year to get to this point. But since the last time we looked at it, I got the sprocket respaced out. We've got the clutch brake on. We've got our throttle and grips on, brake lever. The clutch brake's hooked up. Needs a little bit of adjustment yet, but it's not too far off. Basically, what we have left to do now is we ran into one problem with our seat. These little bungs inside of here, or nuts or whatever they are spinning, so you can't like tighten the seat up properly. So we're gonna make some studs and then epoxy those in. But basically this is just kind of the way it is when you build anything custom, whether it's a hot rod or a chopper or a custom car or whatever. Nothing fits right. So every step of the way it just fights you, because pretty much nothing on this bike was actually meant to go in this bike, and none of this stuff was actually meant to work together. So you have to make it work, make it fit, and it's just very time consuming. So each little part of the process just takes a lot of time and figuring out how to do it the best way. But basically all that we have left to do, I just got my new chain in the mail. It's a RLV Extreme chain, which is the best mini bike or go-kart chain that you can buy. Got to get that on, which is what I'm planning to do next. I got our foot pegs on. I don't know if I mentioned that. We got to fix the seat, get that back on. Once we get the chain on, can tighten the motor down and get that exactly where it needs to be. Then we got to hook our throttle up, and then there's like one or two other little things that we got to do, but basically that's where we're at. So I think we'll take one last look at the bike once I get it completely done, and then we'll kind of go from there. So guys, this is a perfect example of why this kind of stuff just takes so ungodly long to get done, because it's just 1 step forward, 50 steps backwards. So right now we're trying to put the chain on. And if you can see in here, let's see if I can get the camera to where we can see it. This black bracket right here is what holds the clutch brake on. And the top of the chain is touching the bottom of this bracket. So it's not allowing the chain to go around on the clutch sprocket because it's rubbing on this bracket. So what that means now is this clutch has to come back off, this clutch brake has to come back off, this bracket has to come back off. I have to then clearance this bracket, touch it up, and then put this all back on just to get back to putting the chain back on. So that's basically just kind of what takes so long when you do these custom projects like that, because absolutely nothing fits at all. Everything on this bike had to be custom made or custom configured or redesigned or reworked, and it just takes a lot of time. So now all this has to come back off, and we'll fix it, put it back together, and then try to get this chain on. All right, guys, so we got the mini bike all put together now. I'd just like to thank everybody for sticking through this whole project over the last year. Got the throttle hooked up. We got the chain on. There's still a little bit I need to do because the chain isn't perfectly aligned, so I'm not sure if the motor's slightly cocked or possibly the front or rear sprocket has to get spaced out a little bit better. So I have that left to do. Otherwise, everything is finished now on the mini bike, so that's awesome. Next time, we'll get this thing out. Hopefully by then I'll have that chain figured out. I got to do a little bit of adjusting on the tensioner also. But we'll get that sorted out next time. Get this thing out. Hopefully get it started, and then we can open up a whole new can of worms with getting this thing tuned in, getting the clutch tuned in, and addressing any other issues that pop up once we get to that point. If you like this project, you want to see more of it or more cool stuff like this from Hansen Speed Shop, hit that subscribe button, comment below, let me know what you think of this Cat mini bike. I'm super happy with it. This is like one of the coolest mini bikes I've ever seen, so the fact that I get to actually own it, super awesome. Really happy to have this bike. Give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, until next time, get out working your own projects, get your hands dirty, stay cool, and we'll catch you cats on the next one. Thanks for watching.